So let's take a look now at multi-step equations. So we're going to have not just variables on both sides, but also distributive property, combining some like terms. So just a little bit of a step up from our previous lesson. Your steps for solving these is step one, take care of that distributive property wherever it may be occurring to simplify. And then step two, look for any like terms that you may have. And then step three, start to isolate your variable. And lastly, step four, isolate the variable. So let's start with number one, solve for x. We've got 7x equals negative 4x minus 6 times the quantity of negative x minus 5. Lots of negatives going on here, so just take it nice and slow. We are, of course, going to take care of that distributive property first. On the outside of the parentheses, we have a negative 6. So distribute that across. Let me go ahead and drop down on the left side the 7x equals negative 4x. And let's do that distributive property. Negative 6 times negative x will give me positive 6x, and negative 6 times negative 5 gives me positive 30. Next step, it says if we can combine like terms on the right side, we do have like terms. Negative 4x plus 6x is positive 2x plus 30. Now we're going to start to solve, get our variables together on one side. Just like our last lesson, I like to remove the smallest variable coefficient. So let's subtract the 2x on both sides. 7x minus 2x on that left side is going to give me 5x equals, and we still have 30. Divide both sides by 5, we get x equals 6. Final answer. Number two, negative 8x minus 3 times the quantity of negative x plus 1 equals negative 5. That distributive property first, that's a negative 3. So let's distribute that across. The negative 3 times negative x gives us positive 3x, and negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 equals negative 5. Combining like terms, we've got negative 8x and positive 3x gives us negative 5x. Dropping down minus 3 equals negative 5. Now we have a two-step equation. I'm going to add the 3 to both sides. We have negative 5x equals a negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 5. You see what is happening here? We are getting a fraction answer, and that is okay. That's why I put this problem on our notes so you would see. Now, let's do simplify the negative 2, negative 5, 2 negatives make a positive 2/5. So you will have some fraction answers on Delta Math in your problem set. Number three, negative 8 plus 8x equals negative 5 plus 3 times quantity of 3x plus 4. Let's do the distributive property. Writing down what we had on the left side equals, we have that negative 5. Now let's do the distributive property. 3 times 3 makes positive 9x, and then 3 times 4 is 12, plus 12. Like terms, we've got negative 5 and the 12 on the right side. So let me go ahead and copy down our left side. I'm going to go ahead and combine the negative 5 and 12 gives me a 7. And don't forget plus 9x. Variables on both sides. Let me subtract that 8x from both sides because it is smaller. On the left side, negative 8 equals 7 plus 1x. Let's get rid of this extra term by subtracting 7. We're going to have negative 15 equals x. Final answer. Up next, number 4. Now we have not just variables on both sides, we have distributive property on both sides. So take it nice and slow. Still going to attack that distributive property first. On the left side, that's an understood negative 1. So I'm going to multiply that across. That'll give me negative 2x minus 6. I'm going to go ahead and drop down that plus 6x. On the right side, another understood negative 1. So distribute that across will give us a positive 5x plus 3. Like terms, on the left side, we've got negative 2x and the positive 6. Combining those gives us 4x. Keeping minus 6 equals 5x plus 3. Variables on both sides. The 4x is smaller, so let's subtract 4x on both sides. We're left with, on the left, negative 6 equals 5 minus 4 is understood 1x plus 3. Finish it up by subtracting 3 on both sides. That gives us negative 9 equals x. And last one for our notes today, number 5. We've got distributive property on the left side with this understood negative 1. Distribute that across. So drop down the x. Multiplying across gives us negative 5x minus 3, and there's still another minus 3 from the original equation. On the right side, another understood negative 1 there gives us a positive x minus 2. Check your work there. Like terms, lots of different like terms on the left side. We've got the x's that can be combined. 1x minus 5x gives us negative 4x. And then we also have negative 3 and another negative 3 combines to give us negative 6 equals x minus 2. Variables on both sides. The negative 4x is smaller, so let's add 4x to both sides. That leaves us negative 6 equals now 5x minus 2. Add 2 to both sides. On the left, my negative 6 plus 2 gives me negative 4 equals 5x. Another fraction coming your way. Divide both sides by 5. Our final answer, negative 4/5 equals x. So yes, in this section on Delta Math, there are whole numbers, integers, and fractions as your final answer. So that concludes our multi-step equation notes. 5 examples directly from Delta Math. Good variety there. We had distributive property on one side, and then for 4 and 5, there was distributive property on both sides. So take your time with those. Again, your answers may be fractions. You can, of course, check all of your answers. Plug in your final solution in place of your variable everywhere that it occurs, and you can simplify to check that the equation is balanced and equal to the same value on both sides. Beauty of this being a video, you can watch it as many times as you need to. You can rewind it. But when we are in class, do not hesitate if you have questions or you need any help. Okay. I'll see you then. Have a great day.